choosing my services at Moon Goddess Charm. I wanted to show you a little bit about what we will be working with tonight for your reading, your large past life reading. The Desert Rose. It's really important to connect to your past lives and through the realms with this stone. Tons of rose quartz for self-love and relationships. Pyrite for fortune, any artistic abilities or creative expression, or anything that had to do with career. Amethyst and selenite. Amethyst for spirit messages, selenite for clear communication bonds within that life and who you are strongly connected with and to in your interpersonal and familial relationships. Shiva's agate for protection, and a quartz coated angel aura to amplify the energies of the stones. I have already shuffled, and I am now going to begin the reading tonight. First card here. Phoenix, be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. Okay, so I feel like you went through a bit of a rough time in this past life. I'm getting that it was in China. And they're telling me 18th century, 18th. They're showing me a very tumultuous and abusive family and upbringing in that life. I feel like your father was very verbally abusive, and he had no filter in that life. I felt like he was very argumentative with your mother. I'm feeling a lot of pressure and energy in both my head and my legs. I feel like it signifies if you have any headaches in this life or trouble feeling in tune or attached to your base chakra, your first chakra, it has to do with a karmic tie to that life and how nervous and anxious your father in that life made you feel. I'm also gathering a vision of a bunch of children sitting down in like what looks like a living room. I feel like these are your brothers and sisters and yourself, and I feel like you were very obedient to your father because it felt like you were walking on eggshells and he had to have his way all the time, and if you guys and your mother didn't please him, he would erupt and like snap. So you guys always had to keep all of your emotions inside and your actions and emotions in check. I'm going to pull the next card now. Moon, pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. And understand that I pause because it's me gathering messages from Spirit for your highest good and knowledge to further look and foresee into your past life. I feel a lot of tension and energy in the back of my head and my neck, as well as up and down my arms. I feel like this might have to do with a nervousness problem that you developed of anxiety from living in that high stress, tumultuous environment with your father. Spirit is showing me father-daughter bonds and issues regarding the father-daughter relationship in that life. Again, all of this, I'm a feeler, so Spirit allows me to feel and pick up other people's emotions, but also physical sensations from this past life, and I'm feeling a lot of uneasiness and tension and nervousness. Again, up and down on the back. It's like I want to have a chill, but I can't. The back of my head and my neck, on my spine and my arms and shoulders, and also my throat chakra area. I feel like Spirit's telling me that you had trouble expressing yourself. Your chakras didn't develop fully as they should in that life when you were a child because of the way your father was with the family. And I'm going to pull another card now. Okay, marriage. You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. So this is actually showing me a lot about the relationship. I feel like it was an arranged marriage from your father. Your father took it upon himself to find you a mate and a lover to match his ideals for you. I feel like, and let me just read the card and take some time. I'm feeling this nervousness of energy and this energy rushing through my head and also my lower legs. And it's just a lot of constraint, they're telling me, and a lot of tension and a lot of anxiety. And I feel like you didn't know this person that your father arranged for you to marry and set you up with, and it just gave you really uneasy feelings. You were never even allowed to really express yourself and your needs, so you were particularly uncomfortable with going ahead with this. But it was 18th century, so you didn't have a choice back then. And I'm going to pull the next card here. I also wanted to say that your mother didn't have a say, so your father did pick out the mate in his mind that was perfect, that he thought would be for you, but also not just that, but what he wanted for you himself. And I feel like that this card is also saying that your partner turned out to be very emotionally stable, whereas it was very different from your father, so you had a little bit more comfort in that. And then this card is showing me luck, like you got hit with a streak of luck with marrying this person. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead, excuse me. And I feel like you got out of a really bad and deranged environment, and doors were opening for you to step out of that abuse and that neglect and that selfishness that you endured and that dark energy. So I felt like this was a positive sign. And also they're telling me to tell you, and again I'm getting this feeling of like it's this strange like flushing. It's going throughout my chest and my head and the outsides of my arms, my upper arms, and my throat chakra, and it's just like this anxiety. And we will look more into that with the next cards. I also have bay leaves here. These are really good for a multitude of things with your intentions. Good luck, protection, love, manifestation, rituals, thing like that. What matters is your intentions and setting them with them. Okay, so the fifth card here, get this into focus, sorry. World, be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. So I feel like you really left the darkness and you were going into the light. I see a pink blanket with a baby wrapped in it. I feel like you had a daughter with your husband. I felt like you were more in love with him than you initially and actually thought you would be, which is a very positive thing. And I feel like this surprised you, but it made your heart flutter and you happy inside. We're getting very good cards here: marriage, luck, and world. So, new doors opening and flourishing for you, and abundance in all areas after you left the bad environment. And then again, new possibilities in all areas of your life. I feel like women didn't have much of a choice back then, so you mainly stayed home, and cared for your child and your family. You're very domesticated, cooking, cleaning, being a homemaker, being domesticated, like I had said. And I'm going to pull the sixth card here. Thorns, weathering the challenges ahead will bring in a new and positive future. Just give me a moment to read this card for you. And I'm going to grab my desert rose here and place it right here. They're telling me that you know that saying, every rose has its thorn, or every storm you go through, there will be a rainbow. It will take you and lead you to a rainbow underneath, or like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Basically, all these hard experiences from growing up with a control freak of a father and, an abusive person, feeling walking on eggshells and making all your decisions for you and just not allowing you to express yourself or develop your chakras, and arranging marriages. And I feel like everything happened to build a stronger character, demeanor, and disposition for you in that life, which also connects to your karmic bonds in this one, to where your soul doesn't forget you. In your mind, we're only given a mind in, this life, because we're of the flesh, we're of physical body here, we're not any longer spiritual. So I feel like everything happened for a reason, to where you grew stronger mentally in that life and emotionally, and it connects to this life as well. I'm also sensing a lot of anxiety. I don't know if there's anxiety that you struggle with now, or a current present situation that's bringing anxiety, because I'm feeling these anxious, intentions in my body right now, but it's not chills, it's just it's not heavy energy, it's just a lot of nervousness and anxiousness. And I feel, again, that connects to the past, um, growing up, because when you grow up with someone, they have such an influence over your life, to where that helps mold you and build you and all the situations you go through with them. So it's basically like the light at the end of the tunnel. You went through it and you built your character and you came out of it, and there's always a light at the end of the day, and it was within you, if that makes sense. Sun, open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. I feel like this is a really positive card here. I feel like it's talking about just that family bond, that family unit that you desired, that you were missing from childhood. I felt like it came later in life to you, in your family, in your 30s and 40s and beyond, and 50s, you got to experience very functional and somewhat normal, more normal than your childhood, bonds. You were able to see how disconnected your father was to reality and everything, and you were able to associate your husband, who was a caring and nurturing partner to your daughter, and you enjoyed watching their bonds unfold and everything, and you were just really happy about that. And it made you grow together as a family unit and as a person. And I'm going to pull the next card here. Wish, your heart's desire is ready to come true. So I feel like your husband was spontaneous. I felt like he was romantic. I felt like he liked to be, surprise you. I was going to say he had a lot of spontaneity, so he would always find little things he knew that you loved. It was actually a very strong bond, built on not only love, but honor and respect. And he always found, the little things that counted and mattered to you in your heart, and he would find ways to bring them back, whether it would be, remember, your favorite food, or just the things that you really liked, whether it be a piece of jewelry or a fabric, or just something that just really meant, something deep and of value to you. He would always find time to bring it home after working hard, and just always surprise you. And this made your daughter happy because you were happy, and she needed to see that to build on her future relationship and to grow up in this healthy environment of so much love. And your love in that life was very unconditional. He didn't set any conditions on your love, which is very important. nor on your heart. He always wanted you to be free in your energy and to just be happy and loving and love you. Okay, so unity, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. So this is wonderful. This talks about, and it ties into this one as well. I was going to say he focused a lot on anniversaries, but he also made time to surprise you on just regular days, on non-special occasions. And I felt like this really strengthened your bond and your love for each other. And it helped you grow as well in your solar plexus chakra with your esteem, all of your self-esteem that you didn't get a chance to experience and build on in your childhood and your adolescence. He helped you build it now, later in life, in that life, if that makes sense. I also feel that there was a lot of peace bringing energy for your daughter, and I feel like your daughter grew up and found someone who she loved and who loved her just as much, if not more, because of the example that you set with your husband growing up with her. When she grew up with you all, I meant. Patience. Slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind. So this is the 9th card, and they're telling me that this relates to a situation or a characteristic of you in this life. Mainly to a situation. It's saying that we all tend to overanalyze and overthink things, and just to slow down and enjoy each moment, and just to not take life too seriously, but also learn to enjoy the little things and to appreciate them. So I'm not saying you don't appreciate them, I'm just saying it's okay to look at different perspectives before automatically thinking or being lacking better judgment. Like, it ties into this card here to which one is it? It's talking about forgive me, I need to read this and concentrate. It's just saying to slow down and don't make any rash decisions. Live in the moment, clear your mind, sleep on it. Everything will work out in due time, and life is too short to stress and worry about this. It's an important decision you'll have to make, or situation that you're going through. And it's just saying you don't have to rush to make a final decision, and to just consider all options with an open mind. And that, you've been through the fires, you've risen like a phoenix, you've had open doors and positive change, and then you make wishes and desires, as well as positive change again and growth ahead. It just says to find clarity in your mind and to give out your time and energy and be more mindful of it. If that makes sense. Pull the 10th card here. Flowers, be generous, success and emotional fulfillment are yours. This shows me like a wedding of your daughter when she got older and you were in your older age already, and your husband. I see that you stayed married to him. You both were loyal, faithful, loving, honorable. I also see that she married someone and she had a little boy, so she gave you a grandbaby boy. And they keep telling me musician. This could tie into your life now, but I feel like it was more of her life and then your grandchild. She passed the gifts of being a musician. They're showing me like a violin and a vision of her playing a violin on stage, like performing arts. And the music moved her, and she was a deep feeler, and you were just really proud of her, and you felt like you couldn't ask for a better daughter because you were blessed in that life. Completely and totally blessed. And the last card here, love. Love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. I feel like the end of this life, you were surrounded by your loved ones. On your deathbed, I felt like you had a peaceful um, death. I felt like you were just so old in age, and I could just see you like in a bed in like a hut or a house, and all of your loved ones are surrounding you. Your husband passed on a year before. They're telling me cancer with him, but with you, it was like you were just so old. Your daughter had called everyone, and everyone just joined around and bowed their heads, and it looked like they were praying for you, but they were all there for you, including your grandchild. And they keep giving me the number 3. I don't know if that's the age of him, but I do see like a very small toddler. I feel like your daughter waited to have this child. I felt like she was focused on her career, which was in music and performing arts, playing the violin. But I felt like the outcome of this life turned out very positive and beautiful, and all of your loved ones and your family and who you cared about were all by your side. Like, you were there for them and they were there for you, and it was unconditional and it was beautiful, and that's how family and blood should be. um so I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to read for you and seeking out my services. And I hope you resonated with your reading, and I really hope that um, you just really enjoyed your reading. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Um, and if you need any advice about anything, I'm always here for you. Thank you. Love, light, and blessed be. Have a great evening and night, and sleep well.